What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And let's get into it, okay? It is the 31st day of July. The final day of July is upon us. And here we are at about 118.3K with 22 hours, 40 minutes left in this beautiful day right now. We did have a drop yesterday, and it went a little bit below my expectations. I was calling for, I forget if it was 116.5 or 116.2. Maybe it was that exact range. I can't remember. But we did drop a little bit lower than that. We went down to about $115.8 thousand. Nice volatile day. Came all the way down, came all the way back up, and now we're up here at 118.3K. That's enough to liquidate some longs and liquidate some shorts. For on the one-day time frame on this Bitcoin exchange liquidation map, between, I think it's Binance, OKX, and Bybit. The shorts and longs are basically even right now, and you've got this short wall over here, the long wall over here, and you've got this little spike in between down there at about 117.2K. Lately, we have been taking out these walls, or at least like pushing through them as it comes. If we're on a 7-day or 30-day time frame, the in-between zone tends to be the area that we go to. Not always, right? Don't treat it like that. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. There are a lot of shorts piled on right now, you guys, and any day now we're going to rip to the upside. That short squeeze is going to come into full effect, and we're just going to launch to new all-time highs. But with that being said, there is enough causality to go back to about 117K. We are starting off this day on a green note, moving up first. Typically, if you look at any of these green days, they all have a little wick below them, right? Or maybe more than just a little wick, right? This one has virtually no wick at all below it. It doesn't mean that we can't move up. I mean, here we had a very small wick and we still moved up. It's not that you can't do that, right? But just typically, I mean, I'm trying to find a day here. Typically, you have some kind of wick below you. I mean, literally all these. That's the first day with no wick that you actually had a green day, right? Since potentially this day. Or maybe this day what we do is kind of like yesterday. What we do is we go down to 117K, find support one last time at this area, right? We checked back at this area for support one last time at that next level of support, and then come back up and close this day green, ending the month around the current price or higher, and then launching into August. That should be the thing. But I do have some issues with the way that this works in my brain, because just like the daily time frame closing green, if it closes green, typically you get a wick to the downside. The monthly time frame is the same thing, right? And we're coming upon the end of the month or the beginning of a new month here. Typically, you get, even on a small basis, you get some kind of wick to the downside, right? Some kind of pullback. And that might not seem like much, but from an opening basis, that's 107.1K to a low of 105.1. That's about a $2,000 drop in the beginning of the month. $2,000 might not seem a lot, but over the past few days, a $2,000 drop definitely liquidates a lot of shorts and longs. I mean, yesterday, we opened up at basically 118 and dropped all the way down to 116. That was a $2,000 drop that we had yesterday. Literally on the money right there. $2,000 drop, and that was somewhat intense for some people, right? Retrospectively, it's pretty neutral, pretty boring price action, but still some kind of volatility might come our way in the beginning of August. And what better day than the 2nd of August to clean things out whenever Coinbase is going under maintenance for 4 hours, okay? 2nd of August, 7 o'clock Pacific time, which is the 15th hour of the day on the 2nd of August UTC time. So based on this clock, it'll be, I mean, like here, let's see, if we go to the daily time frame, we've got 1 hour 23. It'd be the 15. On the 15 hour, 1500, for 4 hours after that, we would be consolidating, or not consolidating, probably doing some crazy stuff, because Coinbase is going through an update. I don't know why I'm getting stuck on my words, but let's move on. I'm just saying that coincides with the idea that we likely will see some kind of shakeout in the beginning of August. I do believe that we're days away, moments away. It could be today, any day now, that we're going to rip up and see some upside. But the only issue I have with that now is I feel like we're on this period of pause, because we have the weekend coming up. We have the beginning of a new month coming up. We have Coinbase going under maintenance for 4 hours coming up. There's all these things coming up in the beginning of August over the coming days. We might not move up too much. Perhaps what we do is we move up a little bit, shake out real quick, and then continue to rally. After all, looking at this, if you stuck with the video so far, I know that I've been, I don't know why, but I feel like I'm not talking properly for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just being hard on myself. But if you stuck with it, there is some good information, I think, or at least relative information. And talking about relative information here, we've got a sideways moving consolidation phase here. And if we go back in time and analyze what happened this whole process whenever we were moving up here, right? You moved up, moved sideways, moved up, moved sideways, moved up, moved sideways, right? And before each time we moved up, what we saw was some kind of breakout that inevitably came back, right? And this actually happened at the beginning of May, coincidentally enough. We're going into the beginning of a new month ourselves. Here, whenever you're breaking out, you broke out and then you came back and then you continued higher, right? Broke out, came back, and then you continued higher. Here, did we break out and then continue higher, or come back and then continue higher? Not really, but I mean, kind of on this day, right? Like you moved up to the top of this range and then you came back down to the bottom of the range. I don't know. Did we just do that here? I wouldn't say that we did. We did touch the bottom of the range, but we didn't have the breakout yet. So just saying, 2 out of 3 times we saw this exact reaction where we moved up and then we shook out and then we continued to rally. We could see some extreme volatility as we have. We could see a good bit of volatility over the coming days here going into August 2nd. And then the rest of August, I think, should be very bullish. I'm expecting a lot of good things from the month of August. We should be ripping and running up to 130K, 150K, and by the end of the month, I still believe that we will be at 180K. If it's not the end of the month of August, it'll be September. These consolidation phases, man, they are taking longer and longer than anticipated every single time, but that's okay. This, I gotta admit, here right now, this is a lot longer than I would have expected us to be here. From a high point to where we are now, we're on our 17th day. That's far longer as far as the time frame goes than any of these consolidation phases here. And it's looking like we're going to continue. We're probably not going to break out until the 20th day or more, and that's a Sunday. Who's to say? Maybe it's Monday or Tuesday that we do that, right? Crypto Face, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but Crypto Face has put the whole like X.com crypto Twitter community on notice of how on Sunday we pump, or over the weekend we pump, and then Monday we dump. We've done that over the past 4 weeks. He's put that on, and even before that, we've also seen some stuff like that. Now that everybody's kind of expecting that, I'm curious to see if we get that kind of reaction. Might we get a dump on Sunday and then a pump on Monday instead of that, what we've been seeing over the past 4 weeks? I don't know. Just thinking out loud there. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, because I want to actually do some TA now. Hey, look, we're dropping. Good. I was expecting that we would drop, right? Lower highs here. And if we're looking at this here, actually, from a high to a high there, we broke out of this trend. If you notice, you rejected here, you rejected here, you rejected here. We're looking for a different kind of reaction now, right? A different reaction. Well, in what way? Well, here we kind of danced around a little bit, so maybe not in that way. Here we prodded above it a little bit, so maybe not in that way. Each time we had a low, a lower low, and a lower low. So a different reaction in this sense, I think, would be beneficial if we had a higher low, some kind of higher low here where we find support maybe at prior areas of support here. Those areas, just to take into account, if we take the low close there to the low wick here, 117.6 to about 117K, which again, 117K, that's right there where this little point of liquidity is, right there, about $500 million, $0.7 billion worth of longs to get liquidated there. And we have liquidated some shorts already, right? It's kind of crazy that we went down so much yesterday, not so much, but a good bit for this range. And over the 7-day period that we have here, shorts and longs are basically even. They're basically even. Normally there'd be a larger, or even on the 1 day, shorts and longs are even. We've been clearing out the longs and the shorts here in this midpoint, 117K. I mean, it makes a lot of sense in my opinion that we would go back to 117K. If we're looking at this from a relative low, that's not the low. Let's get it though. Relative low to high here. Our golden ratio is even right below this area. We don't have to go to the golden ratio, but we could even go below 117K, going to 116.8, 116.6, something in that area. Fake people out. Instead of finding support here or here, we go a little bit lower, and what we do is we find support at prior resistance or at this closing support, something like that in this area, a higher low nonetheless. Again, what we're looking for here is different behavior in the aspect of a higher low, right? We got lower lows each time. We want a higher low now. And I don't care if it's there, I don't care if it's there, whatever. Some kind of signal that things are turning around, because we definitely do have a downtrend with lower lows and lower highs, right? You broke out of it a little bit here, that would have been a prime area to sell. If we take this low here to there, you broke out of it here, that would have been a prime area to buy, right? I actually bought like right on the line, thinking about it, retroactively. I probably should have bought below the line. I've preached that over the past couple of weeks. But c'est la vie, whatever. If we're looking at this here on the 1 hour time frame with the RSI is at a point of resistance here with the 1 hour being at the 60. We got 29 minutes left in this 1 hour time frame, wicking up right now. I'm curious to see what happens. I'm definitely curious to see what happens. We could break out. Every single time that we touch this trend line, we're more and more likely to break it. I'm surprised we didn't break it here, so it is possible we could break it now. I still would think that we go lower, even if we do break it. So understand, even if we move up, we see 119K, 120K, something like that, I would still anticipate a pullback to some degree. And even if we went higher than that, right? Even if we did do some kind of move like this, August 2nd comes along, and we might see some intense volatility, you guys. We could move all the way up to new all-time highs, or something that's at least above $121,000, which we haven't seen since our all-time high period, and then pull all the way back to prices that are even lower than where we are now. We could see some intense volatility on the 2nd of August. And another thing to consider about the 2nd of August, about Coinbase going under maintenance, is that doesn't mean that the price has to go down. The price could very well go higher. We could see an intense pump instead. I don't know. And that's why, again, first off, I don't recommend anybody leverage trade, but to the traders out there, to the degens, if you are trading, maybe just step away from the desk on the 2nd, okay? Maybe have all your positions closed. Instead of guessing and flipping a coin and maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong, and this is just my perspective, I don't know the future, but if this is anything like it's been in the past, what I would expect to see is whether we pump while Coinbase is down or dump while Coinbase is down, the price will regulate back. So if you're not in a position while, well, what do I mean by regulate back? I mean if it dumps, let's say it dumps $4,000. Well, once Coinbase comes back online, it'll slowly climb or rapidly climb back to where it was before Coinbase went down. Does that make sense? If it pumped, same thing. It would probably come back down a little bit. That would be my expectation. So with the Coinbase, if you're trying to trade that at all, I think it would be safer. Not that leverage trading is safe for anybody. You should stay away from it, everybody. Genuinely stay away from it. It's terrible. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay, we're in too good of a time right now in the markets. All you have to do is hold. Why add that stress? Just don't do it, okay? Please don't do it. But if you are, I think it's a safer trade in this non-safe trading kind of aspect to wait for the market to react after Coinbase goes down and then make a play off of that. So if it dumps, go long. If it pumps, go short, something like that. And I do expect it to dump personally, but I'm not going to bet on that. I'm not going to have any positions open during that time because, again, sketchy business, man. But inevitably, I do expect that we're going to move up higher. 4 hour time frame here, very neutral, not getting a whole lot off the RSI. If anything, the RSI would make me consider that we move up higher first. We've been ping-ponging between the 40 and the 60 predominantly throughout this whole range. A little bit of a dip out, a little bit of a dip out here and there, but predominantly between the 40 and the 60. So maybe we do go a little bit higher. Bitcoin's been very tricky. As soon as we get above this trend line, that'll be where it's time to sell, right? We break out, oh yay, Bitcoin's going to new all-time highs, and then dump. Everybody, Crypto, Ivan on Tech, The Moon, Lark, everybody on all the major X accounts, Da Vinci, they're all going to say, we're breaking out, it's time to go. And then as soon as they say that then we'll dump. I don't know. Maybe it will be a time to break out. I'm curious to see what happens. It is the end of the month, and we are going into a new month here, so it's definitely going to be exciting. And what's nice too is today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday, and the end of the month and the beginning of the new month will be during days that are during the stock week. So it'll be interesting to see how the market reacts. It won't be over the weekend, right? But I am expecting a little bit of a dump in the beginning of August. We'll return to higher prices. I've got nothing else to say, guys. I don't think that I've got anything else to say at all. Daily time frame here. We did not close below. We did get another thing, right? And I was mentioning this, I think, in my last video. 2 days green, 3 days red. 2 days green, 3 days red. 2 days green, 3 days red. We got all three of them. And this day was red, but we didn't close below there, which I think is nice. If we go to 117K, I don't have a problem with that. I think it would look best if we didn't close below this low, because as long as we haven't closed below that low, we're getting higher closing lows with lower lows in the RSI. That's a good thing. That's hidden bullish divergence. And the fact that we've had 3 red days in a row, let's actually end the video on this note and look back, right? We haven't had more than 4 days red. We haven't had more than 4 red days in a row since here. So this was, and even these are neutral. Like, they're not even a percent. Can we even call that red? That's like cheating. That's not fair, right? Maybe we could count this, because again, this is pretty neutral for the green effect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red days. I don't know, but they don't happen often, right? Oh, there's 5. I missed this one. Okay, 5 right there. We haven't had more than 4 red days in a row since March. And we've been pretty bullish since March, you guys. So 3 red days now. If today's red, that's cool. Tomorrow's going to be green then, right? But at this point in time, also on that note, just because we haven't had more than 4 red days since March doesn't mean that we can't. But I would also think that maybe today is statistically probable to be green. So even if we shake out, we move down a little bit, I would anticipate that we move back up by the end of the day, get a green day. I think that we will get a green day today, a green day tomorrow. I wouldn't even be surprised if Saturday was a green day as well. But I'm kind of anticipating a bit of a dump over the weekend and then a pump into next week, versus what we've been doing, which is pump over the weekend and then dump into the week. That's kind of my expectation. So I don't know. That's a lot to digest. I've given you guys a lot. I don't think I have anything else that I want to say. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. 3 days, 23 hours left in this week. Let's see how it goes. I guess it would be ideal to not close a day. Ideal doesn't mean it's a game breaker or a deal breaker if we do this. It's okay. But it would be ideal to not close today or any day below 117.6K. It would also be ideal to not close the week, this week, in the next 4 days essentially, to close below 117.3K, 2K, whatever that is, 2.6K. That would be ideal, right? No weekly close below that level, no daily close below that level, if we can help it, right? If not, again, if we do that, it's okay. Sometimes Bitcoin does this. We get a lower daily close here, and then we start to rip, right? I would bet we also had a lower weekly close. Look, lowest weekly close there, and then we'd be end to rip. It's not like it forbids Bitcoin from seeing higher prices. We're going to see higher prices. I'm just saying if the chart wants to maintain a bullish stance, that helps, right? In an ideal world, we wouldn't close below those levels, but I got nothing else for you. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Ooh, on that note, actually. On that note, one last thing. We don't want the weekly RSI to come out of the overbought zone. We don't want that. So on that note, even if it does, I don't think I'd be bearish, man. Even though that would actually be a bad thing, I don't know if I would ride the low being bullish the whole time. I would have to be, because we're in blue sky breakout territory. I refuse to believe this is all we have. But that wouldn't be a good look. I got to admit, I wouldn't like to see the RSI closing out of the overbought zone. So closing here or lower would be a problem. Hopefully over the weekend, we actually pump. Hopefully we do get another weekend pump. Maybe 4 isn't enough. Maybe crypto faces onto something and we do 5. But I'm a contrarian. Whenever a big figure in the space puts something on blast for everybody to realize, oftentimes the opposite will happen that next iteration. Does that make sense? It's like by the time you start to recognize a pattern, that's when the pattern's no longer relevant, and it'll trick you even. But maybe we'll pump over the weekend, and instead of dumping on Monday, we'll pump on Monday. That would be different too. I don't know, guys. I don't know. A lot of hypotheticals in this video. I'm sure it's going to give the haters and the trolls a lot to go off of. It could do this, it could do that. Yeah, I get it. But you don't get it, and that's okay. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care. Bye-bye.